says that, hey, he would.
Hey,
not
good
be here
morning.
today, but I'm here.
We've got several board members that are on Zoom or calling in, so it is 3 minutes after. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees meeting for March the 11th, 2026. Next item on the agenda is our invocation and pledge of allegiance, and I would like to introduce our invocation speaker today, the Reverend Roosevelt Williams III. He's with St. John's AME Church. Reverend Williams III is a native of Birmingham and a devoted servant of God with a heart of both ministry and teaching. He is a graduate of the Alabama School of Fine Arts and Savannah College of Art and Design. He received his theological training at Birmingham Theological Seminary. He accepted his call to ministry in 1992 at St. John AMEA Church in Birmingham and entered pastoral ministry in 1996. Since that time, he has shepherded congregations in Florence, Birmingham, and now at St. John's AME Church in Montgomery. In addition to pastoring, Reverend Williams has led the Graphic Art Communications program at Lawson State's Bessemer campus since 2008. He received the Technical Instructor of the Year award in 2012 and in 2024. Reverend Williams is married to the Reverend Sheila Williams, his partner in life and ministry. Together they have been blessed with a daughter, Dr. Christian Williams Harper, son-in-law Malcolm Harper, and a grandson, Malachi. I'd like to welcome Reverend Williams to the podium, please.
Good morning,
Morning.
and let us pray. O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is your name in all the earth. Father, gracious and loving God, our source, the giver of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, we pause for a moment to say thank you. We thank you for the gift of this day and for the opportunity to gather together in service to the people of Alabama. Lord, we thank you for the Alabama Community College System and for the mission it carries across this state. Thank you for the campuses where doors are open, where hope is renewed, and where students discover the gifts and possibilities they may not have seen in themselves before. We are mindful that education has long been a pathway to opportunity and transformation. In communities across this state, community colleges have helped generations rise above barriers, grow in confidence, and build brighter futures for their families. So today, Lord, we ask your blessings upon the leaders gathered in this room. Bless the members of this board, the chancellor, our college presidents, faculty, and staff who carry the responsibility of guiding these institutions. Grant them wisdom in their conversations, clarity in their decisions, and a shared spirit of cooperation that keeps the well-being of students at the very center of their work. We also lift up the students whose lives will be shaped by the decisions made right here. Young people beginning their journey, working adults returning to complete a dream, and those seeking new direction and opportunity. May our colleges continue to be places where potential is discovered and confidence is built. Now, Lord, as this meeting begins, guide and bless every decision. May the work done here today help expand opportunity and strengthen communities across Alabama and beyond. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Williams. Now, if you are able to, would you please stand with me to do the Pledge of Allegiance? Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Secretary, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Jim Shell,
Present.
Mr. John Mitchell,
Present.
Ms. Valerie Gray,
Present.
Mr. Goodrich Roberts,
Present.
Mr. Ron Houston,
Present.
Mr. Levelyn Brown,
Present.
Mr. Tim McCartney,
Present.
Mr. Britton Lightsey,
Present.
Dr. Yvette Richardson,
Present.
Governor Kay Ivey.
We have a quorum. Thank you. Prior to the board meeting, members of the board were distributed minutes from February 11th meeting. I hope you've all had a chance to review them. If so, do I have a motion to approve as submitted?
Agenda.
Oh, approve, I skipped over that. Before you, you have the agenda for today's board meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as submitted?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Rogers. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Roan. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
Okay, now, you've all had a chance to read the minutes from the February the 11th meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Houston. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Roan. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
Madam Secretary, do we have anyone signed up for public comment? Okay. At this time, we're going to break away from the agenda just a little bit. Allow me to indulge. As you all know, every board meeting I say that our college spotlight is my favorite. I wish we could spotlight every single college because what you do every month is amazing. But shamelessly, I am very passionate about economic development. You guys all know that. And I'd like to call Keith Phillips to the podium because he would like, in conjunction with my request, to air a video of an amazing announcement that we just recently had.
Thank you, Chairman Gray, board members. It's my pleasure to be here. Before we show the video, I want to frame what's taking place. And some of you have probably seen this. It was an announcement last week. But I won't speak to the board. Over the past several years, this board has made a very intentional decision to invest in advanced manufacturing training centers on our campuses. And this wasn't just about buildings. It was really about positioning Alabama for the future of manufacturing and recruiting industry to our state, but also supporting those existing industries. So you understand that you understood back then, if we wanted to compete for the next generation of industry and workforce and in economic development, we had to be ready before those opportunities come. And that's exactly what happened in Gadsden last week. For nearly 20 years, a 430-acre site, which was a former steel mill, sat as a reminder of jobs that left this country. Today, it represents a $430 million investment in more than 1,300 jobs because Alabama was ready with the workforce training capacity when that economic development opportunity came. Kind of one of the quotes is from rubble to renewal. What you're about to see is not just an economic development announcement. What I want you to notice is how often workforce preparation and Gadsden State Community College are mentioned as part of the reason of why that company chose Alabama. And I'd say that that's not only, it's not unique to just Gadsden State, they share that with all of our colleges when business locates here or existing business expands or they're sustaining their production. So that is the return on the vision this board had when you approved investing in those advanced manufacturing centers. So let's talk a little bit about the company. Mint Group Limited is a Taiwan-based manufacturer with 78 plants worldwide. They're the world's single largest EV battery housing supplier, and they intend to directly supply Hyundai here in Montgomery and the Kia in West Point, Georgia, with housings for the EV batteries for those vehicles. They spent 2 years evaluating sites across 5 states. What they were looking for just wasn't land or incentives. They were looking and asking the harder questions. Is there a community ready to support a world-class manufacturer and help them scale? Gadsden answered that question with a yes, and Gadsden State Community College was a major reason why. So let's talk a little bit about some of the key stats at a glance for that company. It's a $430 million investment, 1,300 jobs plus created. It's 1 million square foot under roof. Wow. It's the #1 largest Mint's largest campus globally. So to be their largest facility. We outcompeted 4 other states, and they're looking to target operation in November of 2026. Starting wages are about $25 an hour. Gadsden State's role is the heart of what's happened here. And you're going to see in the video, you're going to hear some quotes. Senator Britt, Mayor Ford, Mr. Menth, not Mr. Menth, Mr. Chin with Menth. You'll hear those quotes about the reason that that project landed there at Gadsden State, and the decision this board made years ago is a large reason why that's happening. So if you will, please play the video.
Now, this could not have happened, as we mentioned earlier, without a lot of people doing a lot of things. And when I asked Mr. Chen, I said, tell me, what made you decide on Gadsden? He said, the people, the preparation, and our customers. So the people, that's all of you. And that's what I stand here today saying, thank you. Thank you for being ready to accept the challenge and create opportunities for this community and our great state. When it comes to preparation and you think about how all these pieces working together, the community college system and Chancellor Baker investing in advanced manufacturing here at Gadsden State Community College, and what that means for being ready to tackle this. He said when he walked in there, he thought, you've got to be kidding me. This is state of the art, not just for Alabama or our country, but literally across the globe.
One thing I asked David in the Fairfield Inn or Fairmont, I'm not sure where we were, but we were in the room, and then William said, I said, so what was the deciding factor? I'm going to give you a lot of one-liners right now, okay? And I think Senator Britt said, what made you want to come to Alabama? And he said, Gadsden, Alabama. So we appreciate that, William. But the one thing he mentioned was Gadsden State Community College, the advanced manufacturing. Alan, are you here? Alan, please stand. Thank you. William, if you don't mind me stealing your words, William, he said, it made me jealous that you had this facility in the city of Gadsden. Y'all, that is what helps us. And I wish Chancellor Baker was here today, and to our local legislators, Senator Andrew Jones, Butler, Gidley, and Craig Lipscomb, thank y'all for providing that funding in the education budget. This is a big deal to help us recruit industry.
Thank you. Any questions for me? Alan was unable to be with us today, but certainly he has shared this video, and thank you for asking us, giving us the opportunity to share it with the board.
Yes, thank you. I got the video late yesterday afternoon, and Chancellor, your staff called to task and made it happen today. I do hate that Alan was not able to be here, but to the rest of the presidents that are here, as a practitioner, I know what it means when your colleges step up and answer the call, and you have made a huge impact in lives of hundreds, if not thousands of people. Now, my second favorite part, again, is our college spotlight, and today we are going to highlight Bevel State Community College.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Chancellor Baker, trustees, for allowing me to be here just to share some of the good things that we have going on at Bevel State Community College. These things always make me a little nervous because I don't know if they're going to format correctly or not when I send them to another site. So Clinton's told me it's going to work, so we're going to see. So if you will indulge me just to share a little information before I get to our student spotlight today about Bevel State. Of course, we cover the counties of Walker, Fett, Marion, and Pickens. We are 4,600 square miles in central to northwest rural Alabama. According to Lightcast, our economic impact of that service area is $341.2 million, supporting just over 4,000 jobs. Our motto at Bevel State is we're building futures. So those are our three overarching goals of our strategic plan: connect, complete, and contribute. We believe that if we do the first part correctly, the others will take care of itself. Connecting is the most important part. Everything is relational. So connecting to our community's needs, municipalities, business and industry, K-12 partners, whatever that may be, and then seeing it to completion, through to completion, whether that's workforce solutions or moving on to a four-year institution, whatever that need is. And then contributing, of course, that's the crux of what we do, contributing to our local economy. I think the numbers prove it out. If you look at the last 5 academic years at Bevel State, how we have continued to go on the upward trajectory, finishing last academic year with almost 80,000 credit hours. Of course, a lot of that, I believe, can be attributed to this metric, which is nothing new to anyone in this room. Of course, that's a national publication in Forbes, but we see that boiled down to the regional level and definitely to the local level, that 5 to 2 metric. For every 5 trade persons that are retiring or leaving the industry, there's only 2 to take their place, leaving a pretty significant skills gap. So most of our enrollment increases definitely can be attributed to the skilled trade area. I like Mike Rowe. I watch his podcast. He's the dirty jobs guy, but he kind of sums it up. He says it's a national security issue, the significant gap. We need to encourage the next generation to pick up a wrench and not just get a worthless diploma. You compound that with the labor participation rate. Now, I know those numbers can be skewed a little bit depending on circumstances, but even with that, that is still a pretty significant deficit at 42%. So what do we do to help close that gap? What are we doing to help close that gap in our area? So our college spotlight today and our student spotlight is on dual enrollment. You can see over the last 5 academic years how much dual enrollment has increased. When I first got there, there was about 10,000 credit hours. You can see last academic year we were encroaching on 23,000 credit hours. So if we help students find that niche, if we help them get engaged in a career pathway while they're in school, before they get to the CALP, so to speak, then we're helping to close that gap. So in our area, we have incredible partnerships, no doubt, with our K-12 school systems. We serve about 14 different school systems in our service area, but a few I want to highlight. The Pickens County College and Career Center, PC4 as it's commonly referred to as, they have been doing an incredible job there for a number of years, where those students, as they enter the 10th grade, they're put on a career pathway. If they do what they're supposed to do, they walk out the door with a short-term certificate. If they take the initiative to do more, they can get a long-term or possibly even an associate's degree. So we're about to see that modeled, enhanced in other areas within our service area. In Walker County, with the Walker County School System and the Jasper City Schools, the development of the Heman Drummond Center of Innovation. This is approximately $100 million investment in career tech in that community. We have expanded our agreement with the Heman Drummond Center, where it'll be set up identical to PC4. When those students walk in the door as a 10th grader in high demand areas, it's not a smorgasbord, it doesn't cover everything, but in high demand areas, welding, machine tool, HVAC, diesel mechanics, they can walk out the door with a short-term certificate, or just like at PC4, if they take the extra initiative, they can get a long-term or a short-term certificate. In the corner of Jefferson County, hence Corner High School, and Jefferson County is a stone's throw from our Summerton campus. We serve as their career academy. Those students drop off by the bus loads there each morning, where they are taking a respective skilled trade, or majority of them are working on a skilled trade, but some still work on academic transfer as well. We're about to really expand our partnership with the Marion County school system. I was over at the State House this morning listening to the budget hearing, and they talked about the Career Tech Rural Schools Grant. I think it was $100 million last year, proposed $150 million this year. Marion County feels fairly confident they're going to receive their portion of that. Of course, anywhere, I think $12 million is about the most they've appropriated. Not enough to do a standalone facility. That's just not enough money. However, what we've offered to Marion County is some underutilized space on our Hamilton campus where they will take those dollars and renovate that portion of our campus, and we will have the Marion County Career Academy located right there on our Hamilton campus in Marion County. So just wanted to highlight great partnerships, but how we're expanding those partnerships in these specific areas. So our student spotlight comes from PC4. Mr. Landon Scott. Landon was scheduled to be here with me today, but unfortunately due to circumstances with his job, he was pulled back in and could not make it. Of course, as a young man, it was hard for him to say no to his employer. But in that larger picture there, all those students, and of course you see the different regalia. Green is Gordo High School. The dark blue is Aliceville. The crimson color is Pickens County High School. The light blue is actually an academy there, a private academy in Pickens Academy. But every student you see there in that picture either received a short-term certificate, a long-term certificate, and in this particular group, a dozen of them received their associate's degree. And of course, on the inset, you see me presenting Mr. Scott with his associate's degree that he got 1 week prior to receiving his high school diploma. So Landon, once again, couldn't be with us, but we do have a video that we would like to share with you at this time. So Clinton, will it play or do I need?
My name is Landon Scott. I'm a recent graduate of the Bevel State Dual Enrollment Program. I graduated high school and Bevel State in May of 2025. The Pickens County College and Career Center recruited at my local high school and told us about the many things Bevel was doing and partnering with them to teach high school students about workforce industry and teach us the many aspects that would be needed to find a job in that field. I was fortunate enough to receive the dual enrollment scholarship, which was very helpful to me and my parents to attend the program. Going to summer classes allowed me to get more experience with the welding aspects, allowed me to weld more, and also allowed me to gain more certificates, which in return allowed me to receive my associate's degree while in high school. I was hired by Taylor Electrical Contractors about 5 years ago due to the fact that my grandmother previously worked here. So when I graduated high school, I already had a foot in the door. I didn't have to learn anything. They didn't have to teach me much. I rolled straight into the field. I was straight into being a technician, welding technician. And so me getting to go through dual enrollment put me ahead of the game. And showing up on time, doing what needed to be done, getting it done, and getting it done efficiently was one thing they really liked about my character. And one thing I learned from Bevel was to have that good character. I love most about my job is making a difference in people's lives. When something goes wrong, I can be there to help pick them up, help fix their mistakes, and how to just be a better employee, and help those who contract us out to come help them that are in need. I love to be there to help them. If you're in high school, I would really take in consideration the dual enrollment program. It'll put you ahead in life. It'll put you ahead in your job career. It'll give you an experience in high school, which will translate over to the job field and put you ahead of other people who didn't get that experience. Success means a lot because it tells a story to other people about what you can do and what you have done. It tells the story of where you've been, what you've learned, the experience you've gained, and how valuable you can be to other people. One thing Bevel taught me to be really good at was always make a positive impact.
Landon, he was so regretful that he could not be here today, so he asked me to read this statement. It reiterates some of the things he mentioned in the video. He said, when I graduated high school, I didn't have to wait. I walked straight into the workforce. No lengthy training period, no starting from scratch. The dual enrollment program at Bevel State gave me a head start that most people spend years trying to catch up to. That's the difference programs like this makes in people's lives. So he wanted me to extend to you, thank you so much for all that you do. I would like to add real quick that in these communities, of course, we're all scrambling for dual enrollment dollars each year when the appropriation comes out. In a lot of these rural communities, you have foundations, they do in Pickens County, where they step up to the plate and provide additional $60,000 to $100,000 a year to fill the gap, just so we don't have to, tell anyone no, and to provide materials and supplies. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here today and share some of the things we have going on at Bevel State Community College.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to agenda item 8 for executive, legal, and public information. Action item 1 is Snead State Community College. It is a review of their mission statement. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees approve the current mission statement of Snead State Community College. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
A motion from Mr. Rogers. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second from Mr. Houston. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye. Aye.
Agenda, action item 2, we're moving over to Laureline B. Wallace Community College, and it is a review and approval of their mission statement. It is recommended that the ACCS Board of Trustees approve the current mission statement of Laureline B. Wallace Community College. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Mitchell. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Rogers. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or a voice vote.
Aye.
Moving over east to Chattahoochee Valley Community College. It is recommended that the ACCS Board of Trustees approve the current mission statement of Chattahoochee Valley Community College. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion for Mr. Roan. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Houston. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or a voice vote. Okay, we're going to move over to item 8A4, Wallace State Community College, Hanceville. Dr. Carlowitz, I would like to thank you for the beautiful Easter lilies that you guys have provided for us. You always take really good care of us. Thank you again. So now we're going to look at the purchase of a passenger bus. It is recommended that the ACCS Board of Trustees authorize the president of Wallace State Community College, Hanceville, to expend $720,687 for the purchase of a 56-passenger Prevost tour bus. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Houston. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second from Mr. Roan. Any points of discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or a voice vote.
Aye. Aye.
Moving on to action item 8A5, Calhoun Community College. It is the approval for the naming of the Kelly Gymnasium basketball court. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees authorize the president of Calhoun Community College to name the Kelly Gymnasium basketball court as the Bobby Shuttleworth Court and to add appropriate signage. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Rogers. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Mr. Houston. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or a voice vote.
Aye. Aye.
Item 8A6, Calhoun Community College, approval for the naming of the softball field. It is recommended that the ACCS Board of Trustees authorize the president of Calhoun Community College to name the softball field as the Myra B. King Field and to add appropriate signage. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Rogers. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second from Mr. Roan. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or a voice vote.
Aye.
Item 8A7, the Alabama Community College System Bookstore Operation Services Agreement with ACCS institutions. It is recommended that the ACCS Board of Trustees authorize the Chancellor of the Alabama Community College System to approve amendments to existing agreements between the Alabama Community College System institutions and providers of bookstore operation services. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Houston. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Mitchell. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or a voice vote.
Aye.
Okay, we're going to move over to item 9A1. This is instruction, research, and development, adult education facilities, fiscal information technology, and workforce development. Action item 1, Southern Union State Community College, the new off-campus instructional site for aviation maintenance technology and program. It is recommended that the ACCS Board of Trustees approve Southern Union State Community College's application for a new off-site instructional site in support of their aviation maintenance technology program to be implemented fall semester of 2026. And I will submit this in the form of a motion from myself. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Mr. Houston. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or a voice vote.
Aye. Aye.
Motion passes. Item 9A2, Bishop State Community College, the truck driving school, new classroom and office building. It is recommended that the ACCS Board of Trustees authorize Bishop State Community College to proceed with the named truck driving school, new classroom and office building. Construction contracts for the project shall be executed no later than June the 1st of this year, or this authorization shall expire. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
A motion from Mr. Mitchell. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Rogers. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or a voice vote.
Aye. Aye.
We're going to move over to Reed State Community College for the renovation of the Black Angus property for College Food Service Solution. It is recommended that the ACCS Board of Trustees authorize Reed State Community College to proceed with the project name renovation of the Black Angus property for College Food Service Solution. Construction contracts shall be executed no later than June the 1st of this year, or this authorization shall expire. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Mitchell. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Rogers. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or a voice vote.
Aye.
All right, item 9A4, Trentham State Community College. This is the Executive Park Campus renovation for healthcare and culinary. It is recommended that the ACCS Board of Trustees authorize FF&E budget of Trentham State Community College for the project name Executive Park Campus renovation for healthcare and culinary. The contract shall be executed no later than August the 1st of this year, or this authorization shall expire. I will submit this in the form of a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Mr. Roan. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or a voice vote.
Aye. Aye.
We are going to stay at Trentham State, and this is the Patterson Campus Building F renovation. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees authorize Trentham State Community College to proceed with the project name Patterson Campus Building F renovation. Construction contracts shall be executed no later than June the 1st of this year, or this authorization shall expire. Again, I will submit this in the form of a motion. Do I have a second?
Second. Second.
I have a second from Mr. Mitchell. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or a voice vote.
Aye. Aye.
Item 9A6, J.F. Drake State Community and Technical College. This is the Building 200 renovation. This is a pretty lengthy resolution, so you guys just bear with me as I try to, hit the high points in this. This is a recommendation for action resolution. the resolution approving the declaration of emergency and authorizing the chancellor to complete negotiations, agreements, construction contracts related to the capital improvement project at J.F. Drake State Community and Technical College. This is the Building 200 renovation. It is whereas the Board of Trustees was established by the Alabama legislature and approved by law by the governor of Alabama in May of 2015. This act authorizes the board to appoint a chancellor who serves as the chief executive officer of the ACCS to assist the board in carrying out its authority and responsibility. Pursuant to the authority vested in the chancellor under the act and as prescribed by the board's policies, the chancellor has the authority and responsibility subject to the approval of the board for the operation, management, and improvement of the community and technical colleges, including but not limited to the management and supervision of capital improvement programs and expenditures. Whereas the Alabama Community College System has initiated multiple capital improvement projects which have been bid in accordance with Chapter 2 of the Public Works Law, and whereas in December of 2025, the ACCS members of the Alabama legislature and local government officials began planning efforts to provide proprietary training space at the campus of J.F. Drake State Community and Technical College for a national defense contractor. Since January 2026, planning efforts have developed into a design project known as the Drake State Building 200 renovation, involving the renovation of a 12,639 square foot of building space. In order to meet the aggressive schedule and needs of the United States Department of War, the project will be divided into two phases. Work will provide new interior finishes, new lighting, restroom renovations, HVAC, electrical upgrades, and exterior building improvement to accommodate for specialized training for the defense contractor. Whereas the board has determined that it is in the best interest of the Alabama Community College System and its member institution involved in the above referenced project to authorize the chancellor and his designees to move forward with negotiations of the final terms and conditions of this two-phase construction contract for the above identified project, and upon completion of negotiations to award and execute final construction contracts to commence the project pursuant to the public notice set forth in Attachment A. Now therefore be it resolved that the chancellor, in accordance with applicable Alabama laws, rules, and regulations, is hereby authorized and directed to immediately commence negotiations on the final terms and conditions of the construction contract for Phase 2 of the above identified project, and upon completion of negotiations to award and execute final construction contract to commence the project in accordance and compliance with the Alabama law. And I believe this came before the Building and Property Committee, is that correct?
Not the resolution, but the other part did, yes.
Okay, all right. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Rogers. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Mr. Houston. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or a voice vote.
Aye. Aye.
All right, item 9A7, the Adams Hall renovation at Chattahoochee Valley Community College. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees authorize Chattahoochee Valley Community College to proceed with the project name Adams Hall Renovation Site Improvements Bid Package. The construction contract shall be executed no later than June the 1st, 2026, or this authorization shall expire. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Houston. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Roan. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or a voice vote.
Aye. Aye.
Item 9A8, Gadsden State Community College. This is the Valley Campus Prater Hall roof replacement. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees authorize Gadsden State Community College to proceed with the project named Valley Campus Prater Hall roof replacement. Construction contract shall be executed no later than June the 1st, 2026, or this authorization shall expire. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion for Mr. Rogers. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second for Mr. Roan. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or a voice vote.
Aye. Aye.
Motion passes. Item 9A9, we're moving over to Central Alabama Community College. This is at the Prattville campus. It's the Workforce Development Center. It is recommended that the ACCS authorize Central Alabama Community College to proceed with the project name Prattville Campus Workforce Development Center. Construction contracts shall be executed no later than June the 1st, 2026, or this authorization shall expire. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Houston. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Rogers. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or a voice vote.
Aye.
Item 9A10, we are moving over to Jefferson State Community College. This is the Chilton Clanton Campus Workforce Development Projects. It is recommended, I'm missing Enterprise State. I think I flipped over one too soon.
That's an Enterprise.
Do you have Enterprise State? or-
Enterprise, whatever.
Enterprise.
Okay, can I see your? Let me make sure I didn't flip over it.
You got it.
Oh, look at there, technology. Sorry about that. Enterprise State Community College, it is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees authorize Enterprise State Community College to proceed with the project name Ozark Aviation College Storage Building. The construction contract shall be executed no later than June the 1st, 2026, or this authorization shall expire. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Got a motion from Mr. Mitchell. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Houston. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or a voice vote.
Aye.
Yep, I was approving something back in February, but I just found my copy. I'm sorry, Mandy, that was on me. So, okay, we are now going to move on to agenda item number 10 under personnel. Do we have any personnel reports? No personnel reports. And I do want to say we breezed through these resolutions pretty quickly, but there's a lot of thought and hard work that goes into this, and our facility committee meetings, a lot of those committees meet and do a lot of the due diligence before it is presented to us. So I want to thank you all for your time and efforts that you do, not here behind the desk, but the time that you spend making sure these items are executed. Item 1011, Chancellor's report. Chancellor?
Okay. I'd like to ask Dr. Sims, Pat, come to the. Pat had the occasion to make a presentation to the House, U.S. House Appropriation Committee, and I just asked her to kind of tell us about that.
Thank you, Chancellor Baker. Madam Chair, members of the board, thank you for the opportunity to share a brief reflection on what was, for me, a truly extraordinary experience that I had last week. It was such an honor for me to represent the Alabama Community College system in our nation's capital, as I provided testimony at the request of Congressman Robert Adderholt to the House Appropriations Committee, Subcommittee on Labor, Health and Human Services and Education. Having the opportunity to speak before the subcommittee for me was a profound reminder of the national importance of the work that we do every day across our colleges. And I felt so proud to represent a system that is not only transforming lives, but that's earning recognition and respect at the highest level of government. And Alabama was well represented in the room. President Haygood was there as well with his Vice President for Workforce Development, Sean Morgan. And so during my comments, I was able to highlight the impact of our colleges, always excited to talk about our colleges. Also the essential role that we play in economic and community development, and the critical need for continued investment in our colleges in our Pell Grant programs, and our workforce training programs. And I also took the opportunity to thank them for Workforce Pell and to tell them how excited we are about it. But it was clear from the exchange with the subcommittee members that the mission of our system aligns strongly with the priorities of those folks in the room who are shaping national policy. And I believe our presence and our voice made a meaningful difference. And so I want to express to you my sincere appreciation, Chancellor Baker, and to the entire board for your leadership and your unwavering support, because opportunities like those only exist because of the vision, of the confidence, and the commitment that you demonstrate in advancing our colleges every day. So thank you for that. And I have to say again, it was truly an incredible experience, but it was one that reaffirmed for me both the significance of the work that we do and the respect that the Alabama Community College system is earning nationwide. So I was honored to represent you, and of course, I remain grateful for the opportunity to serve. So thank you.
Thank you.
Neil?
Well, good morning. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to bring a very quick enrollment update. And there's so many exciting things happening all across the state which feed into these numbers and the lives that are being changed across the state. But I think it can also be said that these numbers help feed into all of the great things that are happening in Alabama. So as of yesterday, March 10th, our colleges have enrolled over 90,000 students in 4 credit courses for spring 2026. That is a 7.6% increase over the final numbers for spring 25, and that's almost 6,400 additional students over what we had in spring 25. 22 of our colleges are up in student head count for spring. Those students are enrolled in over 742,000 credit hours. That's a 6.8% increase over the spring 2025 credit hour production number, and that is over 47,000 additional credit hours being produced this spring. And 23 of our colleges are up in credit hour production. So these are very, very exciting numbers. They indicate a lot of tremendous work that's happening at our colleges by our presidents, their faculty, their staff, and just a lot of wonderful growth around the state that we just continue to celebrate and look forward to more growth in the future. Are there any questions? Well, thank
Great
you.
numbers. Thank you,
Thank
Neil.
you so much.
Yeah, awesome.
Chris Cox. I've asked Chris to come up and kind of brief you on Workforce Pell, a new program that still there's a lot of discussion about it. Maybe some folks are not as clear about the purpose of this, but ultimately the mission is going to be making sure that we are placing students in jobs they are employed. And that's the eventual evaluation of the program. So, Chris.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chancellor, board members, and presidents. This is going to be I think I've spoke on Workforce Pell several times, and I remember it was maybe 6 months ago, Presidents, the first time we mentioned this. I think the question was, is this real? And I think we're getting the answer that this really is coming, and it is a little different for what we have done in the past. And I think a lot of the questions that we have and the colleges have right now, probably use board members, what is it that the colleges do? And Tuesday, we're actually having a meeting with the presidents that we're going to go into some detail. We're still pounding some sand on the foundation and getting it hard so we can build that foundation. But I will tell you, I think we have possibly the best plan in the country. We've vetted it. We've worked with the federal government. We've worked with the governor's office. And we were wanting to control that plan so that the colleges can go out there and deliver training as better than anybody in the country. And our goal is we want to pull down more federal dollars than any state in the U.S. for this training. So, but it's going to be slow. We're not going to just go all out. We're going to try to learn from this because 70% of the people that go through the training must be employed 180 days after. The max award for Workforce Pell is $7,395. So, You know, it could be a 14, 15, 8-week program, and the student can get awarded that money to pay for the training. I think the good news is this training is going to be a permanent thing. It's not something that's temporary. We will be doing a pilot out of the gate with implementing Workforce Pell, but it's not a pilot for our country as far as Pell, as Dr. Sims was saying. I think it was talked about in their committee about Workforce Pell and how exciting this is. The rules have been published. They're growing a bit. I think the key here is, if I can just paint a picture, is where we can work with a industry partner and provide a short-term training, very intense training, 14, 15 weeks. And what we have done is it's going to force us to work with career technical education is going to be the major portion of this, because you have to articulate the credit from the training into a program. So you can't just go do Workforce Pell because you're doing workforce training. It has to articulate into 4 credit, which is what our mission is. Our mission is to take students, get them into training, and that training does not have to be terminal. That training is for them to build on, and we have to have a pathway and recruit the students to do more, because they're going to be in a job, and then we have to have a plan for them of how they can do that training in their program, whether it's short certificate, long certificate, or a 2-year degree program, while they're still working. So it's going to be a great process. I have learned a lot from it. I think our colleges are going to do great with this. So much so I'm bragging and saying we're going to do better than anybody in the country. So expectations are pretty high, and we're excited to finally get to the point where we can actually do some training and draw down some of those federal dollars. Any questions on the Workforce Pell?
It's exciting news. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
That is all under the Chancellor's report, and again, I get up here and I stumble around and mess words up and things like that, and one of our Vice Chairman, Jeb Shell, is on the phone, and he says this a lot, and I take note to it, but truly, we up here stand on the shoulders of giants. So from you all, you make it happen in Alabama, and I'm so proud to be affiliated with each and every one of you. Our next meeting will be our work session, which is immediately going to follow this, and we have a pretty short agenda for that. The next board meeting will be April the 8th, right back here at 10 a.m. Central Time in this room. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Rogers. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second from Mr. Houston. Houston, this meeting is adjourned. Now, I will call to order the work session agenda, and these are our proposed action items for the April 8th, 2026 meeting. I will ask Mr. O'Brien to come to the podium to lead us through this.
Good morning to everyone. Excuse me. The first item on the work session agenda comes from Enterprise State, and is a request that the Board of Trustees authorize the President to rename Suggs Hall as Matt Rogers Hall and to add appropriate signage. President Long has included with his request a detailed rationale for this action item, which is included in your packet. Does anyone have any questions regarding this item? The next item comes from Bevel State. It is a request that the Board of Trustees authorize the college to expend $966,000 for the purchase of two 53-foot gooseneck weatherization trainers. This item is in connection with the Alabama Weatherization Project, and these funds are provided by the Department of Energy through ADECA. So this purchase is fully grant funded. Does anyone have any questions relating to this item? The remaining items are all facilities items, so I will turn the floor over to Mr. Salmon.
Good morning, board members and Chancellor Baker. This morning we have 5 projects for your consideration. The first one takes us down to coastal Alabama, specifically to the Bay Minette campus, where we have the renovation of the Stone and the library building on that campus. Board members, this is the beginning of an outreach and an effort by the college and Dr. Milner to modernize and refresh buildings on the quad. You can see from the drawing and in your packet where Stone and the library building are located. These renovations will go through board members and impact the buildings from mechanical and electrical systems and just interior finishes to help bring those buildings forward and reset them for the next 30 to 40 years. As we look at the buildings and so forth and the schedules and the interior, as we move into the schedule, we expect that we'll receive bids later in March, and then moving with contracts and bringing those back for board action in April, and then proceeding with construction that would be completed or started in the second quarter of this year and completing as we go into the first quarter of 2027. Board members, are there any questions about the renovation of the Stone building and the library on the Bay Minette campus of Coastal Alabama Community College? The next project, board members, takes us up to the north and out to the west, specifically to Bevel State and to the community of Hamilton. On the Hamilton campus of Bevel, we have a drafting building and a main building that we are looking to do improvements and renovation work in these facilities. This is part of the collaboration and preparation that the college is extending its dual enrollment with the local school system there, with Marion County. As we move into this project, board members, there are 2 phases. The first one is dealing with demolitions activity in Building A, which is the main building, and then a full renovation of a space that is going to be repurposing the drafting lab for programs that they're using for dual enrollment. Package B, board members, is going to be the additional work and so forth that goes into the rest of the main building on that campus. We've put together here a schedule. We do expect that they will have bids back later this month for Package A, and bringing those for a vote and action in April, and then moving forward with Package B as an activity in the April timeframe, and bringing Package B back for a vote in the May board meeting. Again, this is an old build. These are 2 older buildings where their systems are at the end of their design life, and we're starting to go through and repurpose, modernize, and refresh these facilities. Any questions about the Hamilton campus renovation of the main building and the drafting lab? The next project, board members, takes us over to the central north part of the state, to Wallace State Community College, specifically to the Huntsville campus, where we have a project that's been moving for a couple of years in design, known as precision machining. As we look at this particular project, you see here in this slide and in your packet a lot of earthwork. We already have under construction here a STEM building, an automotive building, and now we are adding to this triplex, if you will, a precision machining facility. As we look at this building, we've included in there renderings that show a little bit of the architectural design of the facility that will complement the construction that is on the quad, and tying together also newer and recent construction across the campus. This is going to be set up for the precision machining, milling, lathing, and other functions that are growing in demand with industry and throughout the area that the college services. Board members, we expect to receive bids tomorrow, and barring that there are no delays with that, we'll bring those successful results back to you for a vote at the April board meeting. Any questions, board members, about the Hansfield Precision Machining Project for Wallace State Community College? Board members, the next project takes us down to Birmingham, and specifically to to their Jefferson State campus up in the northeast part of the county. This project, board members, is a fiber optic infrastructure upgrade that President Brown and the college are working on to strengthen their internet service and so forth and those functions for the college and for the students. Board members, we do expect that we'll receive bids back later this month in March, and then bringing them for an April approval, and then moving with construction with this work beginning in May. And completion of this work, board members, will conclude sometime as we go into the beginning of the fall semester of this year. Board members, any questions about the Jefferson State, Jeff campus, specifically fiber optic infrastructure upgrades? The next project, board members, takes us out to West Alabama, to the central part, out to the Black Belt region, to Wallace Community College, Selma. Specifically, this is a rural health care program and project tied to Demopolis and to Whitfield Hospital. This is really the genesis, this particular project, behind the rural health care programs that have been moving forward across the state over the last few years. As we take a look at this project, we've been partnering with Whitfield, and to the north of the hospital there's been a site that's been identified where we will be building a new facility. This will be a state-of-the-art facility targeted towards healthcare programs. You can see the schematic here of what we've been designing and working with, and a little bit of the architectural renderings of the building that will complement the hospital's architecture. This project, board members, also includes an expansion of the parking lot, not only for this training facility, but it will also complement what is happening with the hospital. Funding for this project is shared by the rural healthcare grants that have come to us, but it is also funded in part from a congressional federal grant that the hospital has received that is targeted towards site work and parking lots and things like that. So the focus for the program is going to really do well in the area of LPN, ADN, medical laboratory technology, radiological technology, and surgical technology. And so these are all programs that local counties in that area will be entering into dual enrollment with the college to participate in these programs. We expect that we'll receive bids a little bit later here in March, beginning in April. We moved this project forward, and we've had to go back and do a bit of a redesign with the project, but that won't be too much of a hiccup, as those adjustments that we need in the plans will be quickly resolved and we'll move forward. We do expect to be under construction in the second quarter, and then a year later coming back and completing this project in 2027. Board members, any questions about the Demopolis Campus Rural Health Care Workforce Center that is part of Wallace State Selma? Board members, that's all for today. Any questions at all?
Any questions?
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you. If we have no further business to come before us in the work session, let me double check my agenda. I look forward to seeing you all here on April the 8th next month. We stand adjourned.